As promised, I know we got Paul Feinbaum coming on in just a couple of minutes because I got a big-time A-list to go on, but I saw my man Shay having a lot to say because D. Fox had a lot to say about Dak Prescott and the whole the whole Dallas Cowboys situation. D. Fox is still here. Shannon Sharp had something to say before we went to commercial break. I used my executive powers, Shay. I said, we need to get back to what Shay had to say so he could get it in. And D. Fox, this is what the host can do sometimes. I had to bring it back to y'all, and that is what I've done. The floor is yours, Shannon Sharp. What else you have to say about the Cowboys?
No, I didn't really have anything to say. I understand what Dominique is saying. Dominique said, had the Cowboys did a better job of preparing for life after Dak, it would probably be a little easier for him to digest and see and understand them moving on. But because they had failed to prepare for such a drastic move, he doesn't get. But what you and I don't understand, Stephen A., is that, hold on, we're basing this on his playoff resume says, I just don't see how, just because I don't have anything better right now, I just can't wrap my arms around giving somebody $250 million to $300 million, because that's what it's going to take. It's just not $60 million. You're talking about $60 million probably for 5 years, Dominique. You're talking about $300 million, probably with $150 million fully guaranteed, with $100 million at the time of signing.
The thing that I have a hard time with, so yeah, everybody's playoff resume is incomplete until it's not. And I have a hard time accepting the fact that y'all believe, lots of people, you're not alone, lots of people believe that there's something about when the calendar changes or the word playoff gets involved that somehow Dak turns into a bad quarterback. I think that there have been very few playoff games. Over his entire career, when it's all said and done, given enough opportunities, Dak Prescott, average regular season play will end up being the same as it is in the playoffs, because that tends to happen with most quarterbacks. We have very little evidence of guys who are great in the regular season and then just can't figure it out in the postseason. We have the other evidence where there are guys like Joe Flacco or Eli Manning who are okay in a regular season and then black out in the playoffs for a particular year. So what I'm saying is what you guys are hoping for, or what you guys are explaining to me, is something I have a hard time wrapping my brain around. Is this not the NBA? The NBA is different. NBA playoffs are very different. The numbers support that as far as like the tempo is concerned. And there's a series where you're playing the same team over and over again, so it tests your intelligence and your ability to adapt. The NFL is not different. It's 1 week to prepare for a football game. So I believe that Dak Prescott's playoff shortcomings are not because Dak Prescott somehow gets in the playoffs and then gets scared or nervous.
Well, let me say this to you. I believe something is different about you, and America needs to know. You are highly knowledgeable, former NFL player, former officer for the NFL. You know your stuff backwards and forwards, and you're usually just a straight-up shooter. I dare say, Shannon Sharp, that we will sit here today and accuse Dominique Foxworth of getting a little bit soft and nice. I mean, we are seeing his nice side. Because let me tell you something. The Dominique Foxworth I know would be like this. Yo, the playoffs matter. And if you don't show up when it really, really counts, that is an indictment against you. That's not what you sound like this morning. You sound very, very nice, uncharacteristically nice. I'm not saying you're not a nice guy, but you certainly seem a bit nicer this morning. What's been going on, man? I mean, you want to reveal to the public what's going on? The haircut, the blazer, the sharp look, Shannon Sharp giving you relationship advice. Not that you need it, because you actually may do. But the point that I'm making is you seem a bit distracted this morning. You seem very nice, Dom.
I'm
very
not
nice.
I think what it is, you guys are mistaking me being nice to Dak Prescott for being generally nice. You know who I'm not being nice to? Y'all, because I am undressing both of y'all on TV right now. I'm dominating this debate. I gave you several examples of teams that signed quarterbacks and figured out a way to win afterwards. Show me the example of the team, very few examples of the team that had a franchise quarterback and moved on and got better.
D-Fox, what you're missing, hold on, Shannon. What you're missing, D-Fox, is you're making our point. Because when you're able to point to other teams who moved on and got another quarterback and managed to win, that's what we're saying.
Thank you.
That's what we're saying. We're saying you could move on from Dak Prescott and still potentially win.
Right. We agree. You can if you prepare for it and plan for it. My point is, right now, the worst thing you could do is not sign him, because then you lose them for nothing.
So the Eagles
all
playing
these
for Nick
teams
Foles?
sign their players.
So the Eagles playing for Nick Foles.
No, they
it wasn't
didn't play.
Carson Wentz going down
But
when he
Nick
was in
Foles-
an MVP season, and Nick Foles came in the
No,
11th game of the season. And they playing for that?
Hold on. So
Dominique, can I ask you? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Shay. Go ahead, Shay.
So, I mean, we just gonna go out here. We gonna go out here and start talking about aberrations.
You're the one that brought
Can I ask
them
you a
the
question,
examples.
Dominique, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead,
Do
Shannon.
you believe the Cowboys have a talented roster?
Yes.
Do you believe Do you believe I can take a quarterback and make it to the playoffs with a quarterback that's not named Dak Prescott? Do you believe I can take Cooper Rush and at least make it to the playoffs?
To the playoffs.
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay.
I do not.
Well, your position's
Please, I wish that was a thought experiment we could actually have. No, they don't make the playoffs with Cooper Rush. Absolutely not. They don't make the playoffs with Cooper Rush at quarterback or Trey Lance.
So I'm paying $60 million for a guy to win 12 games because based on a large sample size, there are drug companies that don't do a sample size as large as 8 years. And that's what we have with Dak Prescott. An 8-year sample size, a huge body of work. That come playoff time, he doesn't even come close.
D-Fox, we got to go. We got to go to break.
I love that you said 8 years.
We got to go to break. We got to go to break. We got to go to break. And by the way, you did lose.